it has a natural flora of bacteria, I imagine you've heard about. These bacteria, in general, live symbiotically with us. They actually help produce some vitamins. And they also inhibit pathogenic bad bacteria. So they don't allow bad or negative bacteria to develop. This natural flora has come into a lot of research and interest because if our natural flora gets screwed up, it seems to affect a lot of things in a negative way. There is a problem if the waste is there too long. We can sometimes develop pathogenic bacteria. We need to move things out in a rather prompt way. This is why one of the pieces of advice to prevent colon cancer, colorectal cancer, is to eat enough fiber in your diet so you have regular bowel movement. If you don't, you could potentially build up too many pathogenic bacteria. And these bacteria can take chemicals, if they're allowed to sit there too long, and convert them from precarcinogens to carcinogens. And then that starts potentially transforming your cells into cancer cells. And so that's why eating enough fiber is one of the recommendations to help prevent colon cancer. There's a number of others. What about the liver? The liver is an accessory digestive gland, and it doesn't just have digestive functions. The liver is very important, of course. It's the largest visceral organ, and it has a number of functions. Some of them are digestive, and some of them are not. One thing that the liver does is it produces and secretes bile. We don't want to confuse the gallbladder and the liver. The gallbladder stores bile, but it doesn't produce it. The liver produces the bile. The liver also produces and stores nutrients. It stores a lot of glycogen, for instance. The liver, along with the spleen, has phagocytic cells that helps remove old, worn-out red blood cells after about 4 months. And it helps recycle some of the hemoglobin. The liver produces a lot of proteins that are found in the plasma: albumin, fibrinogen, angiotensinogen. The ones that act as carrier for nonpolar substances, chemicals like steroids. The liver has a particular shape. It has these lobules, and it is one of these organs that is unique in that it has two blood supplies. Two blood supplies. It has an oxygenated blood supply coming from the so-called hepatic artery, and it has a deoxygenated blood supply called the portal vein. Well, the oxygenated blood supply from the hepatic artery, we know what that's there for. We're going to bring oxygen to the liver cells so that they can function appropriately. They can make energy, essentially, ATP. Well, what about the hepatic portal vein? It is carrying nutrient-rich blood, and it's coming right from The small and large intestine, when you absorb the end products of digestion, then they go into the mesenteric veins, and then they go to the liver first. The liver processes most everything before it goes anywhere else in the body. And so it's carried from the mesenteric veins to this portal vein. We have lots of portal veins. And then the oxygenated blood from the hepatic artery and the deoxygenated nutrient-rich blood from the hepatic vein mix in these large bore capillaries called sinusoids. These are our largest diameter capillaries, and the blood comes down adjacent to liver cells. Now, liver cells are called hepatocytes. We use the word hepata for liver, associated with liver. So they're lined up like this. They're called hepatic plates as we line them up, and then each individual cell is called a hepatocyte. And so as the blood is going past these hepatocytes, you can grab glucose and things out and store it as glycogen. You can put proteins into the blood. You have a lot of exchange there. In addition, the liver cells produce bile, and that goes into these bile canaliculi, these little green structures. So the blood is going this direction, the bile is going out to the outside of the lobe, and then that goes into bile ducts. Eventually it's going to drain into the duodenum, or it can take a bypass through the gallbladder and get stored there for a while. The blood all drains into a central vein, which will drain out of the liver. This shows blood coming in. It's deoxygenated but nutrient rich. This shows the bile can be stored in the gallbladder, or it can be secreted directly into the duodenum. We'll come back to this regulation of it a little later. The pancreas is behind the stomach, and it also secretes into the duodenum. And as we briefly mentioned, but we'll say it more now, the exocrine secretion into the duodenum is bicarbonate, and that's to neutralize the acid coming from the stomach, and digestive enzymes that go into the lumen. We'll show you a list of those in just a bit. We also have endocrine, which is like insulin and glucagon and somatostatin that goes into the blood. Acid arriving from the stomach into the duodenum causes secretin to be released from some cells in the wall of the small intestine. Secretin increases, especially the bicarbonate ion fraction of the exocrine fluid into the duodenum, from the pancreas into the duodenum, and that neutralizes the acid. We're also going to see that cholecystokinin is secreted from the small intestine. It is triggered more by fatty acids in the small intestine and amino acids. That releases cholecystokinin, CCK. That creates more enzyme exocrine secretion from the pancreas, although the two are help each other in their secretion, secretory role, permissive, if you will. This shows you the major enzymes that are coming from the pancreas into the small intestine. We have proteolytic enzymes. They are all released as precursors. We also have carboxypeptidases and aminopeptidases that take off on the carboxyl end of a protein and the amino end of the protein. We have lipases, which digest fats or triglycerides. We have amylase. This is called pancreatic amylase, and this does polysaccharides. And then, of course, we also break down nucleic acids. So tomorrow we will keep going on this and the goal is to complete the digestive system, or I'll give you a choice. Do you want to meet on Friday, or do you want me to send you an audio lecture to your email? Or do you care?
It's like the online lecture.
The reason I ask